Welcome to The Stylish DIYer. I'm Deb Sermonaro, and today I'm going to show you how you go about texturizing a drywall. Drywall that you've recently hung, and there is a process to it. What I've done is I've laid out all of the tools that you will need for the trade, including a drill. So what you're going to do is, what I do is I roll it out, okay? So I roll out my mud, but you have to thin the mud first. That's why we have a measuring cup, because we're going to put some water in it. Then you have your mud, and generally what I recommend is not this ultra lightweight one, but the one with the darker green lid to use. But this was the one that my previous handyman had given me, so that's what I was using. Also, you're going to need a drill, and the reason you're going to need the drill is because you're going to connect your mixer to it so that you can mix your mud and loosen it. Then you're going to need your roller for rolling, right? And at the end, to finalize the texturizing process, you're going to need this, okay? Because that's going to smooth out the texture that you've laid on the wall. Don't wear anything that's of value to you, because you're going to be getting mud on you. You're going to be a mess. So I'm wearing clothes that usually have paint on them and other things from working in my DIY projects. But let's get started. Okay, it is hot out here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take this mud. I've got about a half of a jug of mud here, and we're gonna take it from this level where you see how thick it is to a creamier level, and that way we can go ahead and we can spread it on the wall easier. So we're gonna do that now. I'm gonna show you. It doesn't take a whole lot of water, so you have to be careful. That's why we're using the measuring cup. Okay, so you want to go ahead and start adding water. I'm going to add about a half a cup of water to start, and then taking your mixture, so you're going to go ahead and start mixing it, just like you would cake batter. So think of this as cake batter, just a lot more of it. More water. Add the rest of that cup of water. Okay, so you can see now it's a whipped texture, as you can see right here. Look at that. Very different than what we just looked at a couple of minutes ago. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start using this to texturize the walls. Okay, you're going to want to use a semi-rough roller for this. Okay, just go ahead and put it on the roller itself, and then we're almost there. So there are different types of techniques for texturizing walls, the way I'm doing it. You could use a sprayer if you have one. I didn't want to deal with the mess of a sprayer, so I'm using the roller. So this is the roller technique. So literally we're going to take our mud and we're going to put our mud in our rolling pan to roll it out just like we would paint. That's how we're going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to spread this in. Actually, put it in, not spread it in. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Woo, look at that. So whipped up. Looking good. Okay, so get a good coating on your, ooh, there we go. Now it's starting to coat on your roller. Take your time rolling it out. Don't rush the process. Okay? And remember, you're going to want it to dry a little bit too before you run it down with the next step. now that I have this one section of wall done, it's been sitting in this area up here for about 20 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and start the trowel method on it. So what the experts have told me is that you want to use a very light touch, so just a very, very light feather touch, because you're just smoothing out the outer edges of what you put on here just now. Okay, so I like to make sure that my blade is clean, so I'll keep cleaning it off as I go as well, because if not, you can end up dragging a piece of the drywall with you, or a piece of the mud with you, and then that will cause a streak. You don't want that. But if it happens, don't worry, you just start over in that one section. That's all. It's pretty easy. So there's one section over here I don't like the way it looks. It almost looks like it has like little pump marks in it. So that's the beauty of texturizing too. You can go back over it and redo that one section, which I love. And some people get really artistic with it. So method to texturize, you don't really want to wait more than 10 minutes, especially if it's quick drying mud, because then it almost starts to get too thick, too hard, and you can't really work with it as much as you would like to. So 10 minutes, I would say, 15 max, but I would do small areas at a time and then go back over and trowel it. And that is how you texturize walls using the knockdown method. And what that means is you're taking the trowel after you've applied the mud and you've waited about 10 minutes, and you're knocking down the mud so that those rough edges are being smoothed out. It looks really cool. Keep watching for more DIY with the stylish DIYer.